Iona here. Welcome to Clockwork Noodles. This is going to be a new feature. We're gonna have me totally not ignoring the fact I have a video that hasn't gone out and it's Tower of God. I will do it. I'm just overwhelmed right now. We're gonna do that question and answer session that I promised I was going to do. Do you like my room? It's a tatami. It probably smells. There might be a Mikade floating around somewhere, but this is the room we're in today. It is a royalty-free image, so don't sue me. Please don't sue me. Welcome from Japan. We're going to do a Q&A session. So the way this is also going to work, if you want more videos like this, put any questions you have in regards to live, jet program, any of it, down in the comments below. Down below, down there somewhere. Put your questions in the comments and I will answer some of the best ones in the next week. I'm going to probably just do a max of like 5 or 6, not do too many, not going to be a big chunk or anything. So if you want your question answering, make it a good one. And if we don't get enough questions, I'll make up my own. So today we're just going to make up my own. I'm going to make sure I cover some aspects, things that I've noticed, differences, basically anything goes. So absolutely anything. And no, that isn't, can you see Iona naked? It's not happening. Okay. So the first question I want to eventually just address, we're going to get it straight out the room. Heat, temperature, it is hot. Everyone would always say it's really hot, don't go in the summer, avoid the summer. It's really difficult when you have to go in the summer. And the course for jet, if you are thinking of applying, it starts in August, depending on what group you're in. And yeah, it's something else. It's something completely different. You will go out and it might just be a 20-minute walk. And in my country, I walk everywhere. I'm fine with walking. It's easy. But in this country, go for a 20-minute walk to the konbini, come back, you will be drenched in sweat. Your shirt is going to be like covered and it's gross and sticky and ill. I'm finding I'm just literally wearing a shirt once, throwing it in the wash. Like in the UK, I could probably get away with maybe wearing a shirt twice in a row. If I'm really feeling lazy and it's clean, I could get away with it. This country, you can't get away with that. There's like no getting away with it. It's really gross. I've been told there's still Roku. 6 more weeks of hell. So hopefully the temperature will start dipping a little bit. Somebody did say I could maybe see some snow, but I'm not holding my breath. The second question to get straight out of the room is where I am. If you've not been following, I am in Saga. Saga is in Kyushu, and Japan is made up of a bunch of islands. Kyushu, I believe, is it one of the biggest? It's definitely one of the few biggest big islands. It's right down in the bottom. It overlaps near Okinawa. So if you want to go for a holiday, Okinawa is the place to be, but don't do it in the summer. Kyushu is super pretty. Saga Prefecture is an odd one because we're quite a big prefecture, but we're also not. So we're told that we're one of the smaller prefectures. So in Japanese, it's Chisai Prefecture. Quite rural. It's very inaka. If you are joining the jet program, they're probably going to ask you at some point, hey, are you okay with being inaka? And you should probably not apply if you're not at least prepared to be in the middle of nowhere. Just bear in mind that a lot of the placements are in small towns, they're in small villages. Just be aware that if you are applying, there is a very big chance that you could be in the middle of nowhere. And my placements, okay. There's pros and cons to every placement. Where I am is Saga City, so the capital essentially of Saga, which is okay. If I was closer to the center, it would be perfect, dream come true, but I'm not. Saga is flat. It reminds me a little bit of Cambridge in the UK, flat. A lot of people cycle around. Cycling is a popular way of getting around in this country. It's good for me because I did say I need to lose weight. I am missing my car so dearly right now, but it's okay. So the next question I want to also get off the bat is initial differences that I have noticed with Japan and the UK, just off the bat, really quick. The first thing is rubbish. The rubbish situation, or garbage for you Americans. You will become hyper aware of trying not to make a mess, trying not to leave extras, because the garbage situation is like so hard. You'll also see that there's barely any bins. I believe it's because there was a big boom. I can't say the B word for YouTube, but somebody put a tick in a bin. And essentially they basically went, nah, screw it. We're not doing this again. We're going to get rid of all the bins. So you will find a bin for cans and plastics by a vending machine. Generally, that's what I do. If I have a drink, I'll stay there, put it in the bin, move on. And if I have got rubbish from eating something, I'll take it home. So you do get used to that quite quickly. The second thing I have noticed that big differences will be, I guess, politeness in a sense. So if you were going into a shop in the UK, most of the time you will probably get decent service, but it's not going to be overly polite. Like, you know, they're just doing it because it's their job. But if you go, most places I've been in Japan, they've been overly helpful, very polite. We went somewhere today for bento, and it was clearly run by this married couple. They were slightly older. They were so nice. Like, they were helping our friend out, and they gave him a chair because there wasn't enough chairs. Like, they go above and beyond to make sure that you are okay. And especially out in the middle of nowhere like I am, I think people are more surprised to see you, and they are, I guess, happy to try and make your experience a good one. This could be different for Tokyo. I literally was in Tokyo for 3 days, and on the second day I got really ill. The heat got to me, the jet lag got to me, the stress, everything. So I actually ended up being really ill on the second day. It kind of sucks. I think I went to one place in Tokyo. Another thing I want to address as well would be, if you are considering applying to the JET program, just really think about how you handle stress. Just because it can be very, very stressful. There's a lot of things that you will find yourself getting annoyed at, and it will be surprising to you what that is. So someone told me that they had a breakdown in a convenience because they just couldn't find salt. Like, she's like, I know where it is in my country. I can't find salt. I'm going to cry. Small things get to you. And for me so far, things I'm struggling with. My Japanese is bad. So I'm going to address this one as well, because technically you do not need to know Japanese to get onto the JET program. That's not a requirement of the JET program. They might just ask that, are you willing to learn? But it's not a requirement. Now, do you remember our friend Isid? If you're following my blog, you're going to remember Isid. ESID. ESID is every story is different, as we've now changed it because I've put my own little spin on it, okay? Every story is different. And in my case, I am having to do language classes, and it's an intensive beginner's course. So before I came to Japan, I knew hiragana and katakana, but I only got them nailed within 2 months. So I only started studying properly, head down, 2 months before coming to Japan. And going from just having the alphabet down to suddenly somebody's asking you these full-on units, you're going through verbs, adverbs, putting all like sentences together, going into past tenses and stuff. It's overwhelming, and that's probably my biggest stress. I feel awful, and it's stressing me out not being able to do things, or literally feeling like I'm the worst person like in the class. So those are some of my panics right now. Another big panic of mine is just doing things, making sure I'm doing it correct, and then feeling frustrated when I've missed something, I've done something wrong. You're going to make mistakes, yes, but if you're like Becca and you're hypersensitive, as I think people have called it, it's a stressful thing. So you do need to work out, how do I cope under stress, and can I find a coping mechanism? I think is important. I haven't found the coping mechanism yet. I'm trying to find one, so fingers crossed. But I did, in the first week of getting here, immediately I was like, I want to meet people, I want to get out there. So maybe that's the thing, maybe trying to find people that you can talk to and who are also going through the same thing. Last question for today, I believe, could be, what we're going to ask, something fun. I'll give you a story, actually. We'll go for a story this time around. And it will be probably, what did I do on my first night in Tokyo? Fine, okay. So first night in Tokyo, I went out with one of my roommates, and immediately, that was the first time I kind of stepped out into the heat, and I knew it was hot out there, but the building is aircon. You'll find a lot of Japanese buildings, just aircon is everywhere. Big difference from the UK, we don't have aircon. So whenever a Brit is telling you it's hot, believe them, it is hot. They are struggling and there's no cooling or anything. So we went out and I got hit by this wall of heat, like massive wall of heat. And then I could hear it for the first time in real life. I heard cicadas. And I'm like, what? There's cicadas in Tokyo. There's actually, like, this is a main city. There's cicadas. I can hear it. I'm in anime land right now. I can't. It sounds really dumb, but it's one of those things that makes me really happy. And it's all the small little things where I'm like, oh, I'm finally seeing this in real person. I'm experiencing this in person. Iona, why are you looking like a dog right now? I don't know. Sometimes Iona works, sometimes she doesn't. I think she's doing okay for this video. So we went out, we were looking for food. So we kind of skipped the big get together. It was too big, too busy. And by that point as well, you've gotten off a plane, you've had a long day, people are literally talking at you and you feel tired. Your social battery is dead. So we wanted to go find some food. Also, combini. I mean, first thing we do is combini. We found a Lawson and, oh my God, no. The girl serving us was super cute. She was just amazing. And I don't know, it was one of those buzzes where you're like, oh my God, we're actually here in Japan. Bumbled through the conversation. I do know what a regibukuro is. So I was like, daijoba desu, daijoba. Didn't want a bag. It's fine. Bet if you really want your basic conversation, if you want to, like, struggling like me, I guess going through Japan without Japanese, it's just ohayo gozaimasu. You put your stuff down and then they'll total it up. You can technically see what you're paying anyway. Put the money in the little tray. Don't give it straight to them because, although some people have handed it straight back to me. That's weird. But put it in the tray, put it down, let her count it. She will ask you if you want a regibukuro. If you hear the word regibukuro, it means do you want a bag? Daijoba desu is a way of getting around it. You can go hai if you really want one. You can even go hitotsu. Hitotsu, where is my finger? There, hitotsu for one. And then she will obviously like give you the bag if you want it, not give you a bag. Dozo for your change, and then you can just say arigatou gozaimasu, give her a little bow, be cute about it. That's it. That's literally it. We grabbed food, went back to the hotel. We had a fun like space toilet, so we were mucking around with the toilet trying to find what different like settings it could do, and we ate food. That was literally my first night arriving in Japan, and it was such a cool experience. I believe I'm going over New Year's because we have Studio Ghibli booked. We're going to do some stuff over there. It's on the plans. I can't wait. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Now, the way this is going to work, and if you really want those questions, put your questions in the comments below. I will be picking my best questions somewhere down there. Make it good. Don't make it rude or offensive. I won't be choosing them, so it's not going to happen. Don't waste your time. Pick something cool. Pick something that you actually are genuinely curious about. I've done some trips already, so you can ask me basically anything. You can ask me channel stuff too. If we've got time, I'll slip one or two of those in at the end. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.